Hello and welcome to another training series brought to you by cnckitsplus.com. Okay, we're going to take a look at the Aspire software. This is going to be a basic overview. When you first start Aspire, come up here to New, and when this opens up it looks basically like a white piece of paper. Up here you can actually change the dimensions of the size of the material you're working with. Let's say we have a 20-inch by 20-inch piece of material. Drop down to the next menu here, we can see the thickness. Right now it's set to 3/4 of an inch. If I change that to a 1/2 inch, notice over here these two little dots. Basically this is telling where the Z0 is, where the bit will start on the material at the top here, or you can tell it to start at the bottom. Typically I like to use it at the top. Let's stop down and take a look at the origin. You can either start with 0, 0, 0 at the center of your piece, or you can select any of these coordinates to become your home. Typically I like to use the 0, 0, 0 because this is where I work with the square piece of material and actually find the center by drawing an X through the two corners. You can use millimeter or inches, whichever one you prefer, so we'll go ahead and accept that. Also you can change different resolutions for the graphics display. We'll probably just do a standard, and at this point we can actually do just a dark wood. We'll see this later. This will show up. Say OK. So basically right now all we've done is established our working material and the thickness. Let's go ahead and start and look at some of the circles, some of the drawing features that Aspire has. Starting off here, we can drag and pull with your first mouse button and release it, and you'll notice we have a radius or diameters. We can change between the two. At any point you can actually type in a specific diameter. So I want to say it's 3 inches. Maybe I don't like that. Maybe I want to go to 3.5. We'll say apply, and then say close. Now, if at any time you want to go back and change that size, say that wasn't the right size, just click on it. It turns the pink selection. Click on the circle, and come back up here, and it tells you back in diameter. And let's go ahead and put that to a 4-inch. Hit apply, and you notice how it automatically updates. Also, you can see the coordinates that are floating around. And we can also grab the handle here at the side, hold your shift key down for proportional type of scaling. And you can also see down at the very bottom of the page here, you're getting some readout, some call outs from the scaling. And I'm going to go back and put this probably to a 4-inch. And we'll say apply. Close it out. Now if you grab a hold of it, you notice we do have the handles where you can actually move this anywhere in the screen. It even has the rotation tools. If it were to sneak right up here in the corner, you kind of see it highlight up. Kind of rotate this around. That's probably a little more obvious with a square. But say you want to get this back to the 0, 0, 0. If you'll notice over here at the side here, you can actually snap right to it. And then we're going to go into edit mode real quick. Let's take a look at this. This is where we actually go into hit the N key, or you can right mouse click at any time and you get a sub menus here. If you select this point and start to move it, you'll notice that basically these are made with arcs. See how you can pull those out. Let's say I want this to be a Bezier, so we'll select that. And now we get the control handles off to the side. We can make some interesting shapes this way. So again, basically we have just started with a circle. And you can come up with some really interesting shapes. So let's go ahead and take a look at applying one of the path tools. So over here on your right hand side you see tool path, and there's a little button here we can actually dock this window to keep it open. And across the top here we have different types of tools. We've got your V-carve, get your profile, pocketing, drilling routine, and texturing. Right now I just want to take a look at doing a profile. This is just basic cutout. So if you double click on it, you get a little menu that pops up here and it tells you where it's going to start and the thickness of the piece that you're cutting, how far it's going to go down. From a previous project it looks like it's going to go 3/4 of an inch. Well, that's pretty far considering my piece is only a 1/2 inch. And let's go back and verify that. You can select this little square and it'll tell me, sure enough, the material is only a 1/2 inch thick. So let's go ahead and change this back to a 0.5 and go ahead and select down here this tool. If you notice here we have a 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch, different types of end mills that you can use to cut with. We'll cover some of the V-bits later. They even have some of the ball nose, so you can do some nice smooth cuts on the surface. I want to go ahead and accept these defaults right now. Path depth, we're going down 0.15 inch at a time to cut through a 1/2 inch. Depending on your machine and what kind of router you have, this will be determined how fast you can cut through your material. Right now we're going to go ahead and take a 1/4 inch cut at a time. So that'll actually be like 2 passes through a 1/2 inch piece. So apply, say OK. And we're going to just hit the calculate button down here. Now here's a typical warning. It says there's no vectors that are selected, no suitable vectors are selected. A lot of times that pops up, and the only reason is because I don't have anything selected. So if we select this, cancel that right there. If we select this object, notice how it turns this pink outline again. So that means we have it selected. Now we're ready to calculate. So I'll hit the calculate button. In a few minutes, it takes us over to our 3D view, and with your first mouse button, hold it down and just kind of orbit your mouse around. Kind of use your middle mouse key to zoom in a little bit, but we can actually start to see this being placed in a 3D environment. And let's go ahead and hit the preview the toolpath, and basically what we're going to do is watch the toolpath as it cuts through the material. And I'm going to go ahead and say delete the wasted material so I can actually see the cut piece. So there you go. It's got a nice little 3D piece of geometry that's cut out from a 2D path. Alright, well that's pretty much it for this one. We're going to go back in and take a look at some other shapes and lines and some text. So until then, thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more tutorials.